How's it going, guys? So, I've got an episode of Let's Talk Melodic Death Metal. Um, so just like the last episode, I picked out three albums. All three of these are really fucking good albums, and definitely go check these out if you haven't. I'm sure a couple of these you guys are really familiar with. Maybe one of them not so much, but well, we'll find out. So yeah, this first one, oh man, this one is just a classic. If there was ever an album to truly fucking define melodic death metal, this is an album that definitely gets brought into discussion. And it was only a matter of time before this album got shown in one of these episodes. And of course, I am talking about At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul. I mean, there's not much to say about this album that hasn't already been said. I mean, this is just literally the fucking definition of, you know, fucking just Swedish melodic death metal. Um, I wouldn't go as far as to saying that it's At the Gates' best album. A lot of people probably would say that, but I wouldn't say that. But I mean, everybody's heard this album. It's such a fucking classic. Um, especially the fucking title track, fucking Blinded by Fear. Um, Another one of my favorites off this album, which I think it's an instrumental. It's Into the Dead Sky. Suicide Nation is also another really good track. But yeah, this is just one of those albums where, when you talk about melodic death metal, you have to fucking have this one in there, alongside a couple of other albums. But yeah, definitely the essential fucking melodic death metal album. So yeah, at the Gates with Slaughter of the Soul, fucking essential melodic death metal listening. Amazing album. Alrighty, now the next album I'm going to talk about. This band is one of those bands that um some people just don't like them. And I understand why, but their early albums are really fucking good. Their first few albums are really good. Really strong melodic death metal influence. I wouldn't say they're just straightforward melodic death metal, like At the Gates or whatever, but because they also combine elements of like power metal and like symphonic metal. But I do consider their early stuff, and I do consider them in general to be a melodic death metal band. Like, I don't get offended when people call them melodic death metal because they essentially are. But that's just my opinion. And I'm talking about Children of Bodom. This is their second album, Hatebreeder. Now, I've been listening to Children of Bodom for a long time. I'm not real crazy about the stuff they put out after Fall the Reaper, but their first three albums, Something Wild, Hatebreeder, and Fall the Reaper, are all three are fucking great records. Um, and I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with Children of Bodom. They're one of the bigger names just in metal in general. Um, I've been listening to these guys since I was in high school. Kind of like um, In Flames and other fucking bands like that. Um, this is just one of those bands that is more easily accessible to people, in my opinion. And probably the reason why is because of the fact that they don't just it's not just melodic death metal. You know, there's elements of power, like I mentioned before, there's elements of like power metal and symphonic metal as well, which, you know, which I mean, let's be honest, power metal and symphonic metal are a lot more easily accessible, or a lot more, you know, easily taken in by people than death metal is. So yeah, but I mean, just some of the track highlights from this album. Definitely Warheart, which is the first track. Silent Night, Bodom Night is also a really good one. Bed of Razors is probably one of the best Bodom songs in my opinion. And of course, Downfall. That's another one of probably one of their most popular tracks. But this is a really fucking good album, and Children of Bodom's early stuff is really good. Kind of pretty unique in my opinion. There's not really too many bands that sound like Children of Bodom in my opinion, so I guess maybe that's kind of why people like them so much. A lot of people just really become fans, become, you know, such hardcore fans of them. But I know there's a lot of people that, like I said, I know there's a lot of people that don't really like them that much, which, like I said, I understand because um, they combine so many different elements, you know, that it just, some people just don't, you know, they just don't like that. But yeah, but nevertheless, this is a great album. Children of Bodom's, at least in my opinion, their first three records are definitely worth a listen if you haven't checked them out. Like I said, I'm not too crazy about the stuff they released afterwards, after Fall of the Reaper, like I said, but their first three albums are a fucking must listen, and they're essential in my opinion to melodic death metal. And these guys are from Finland too, so Finland makes good metal. So yeah, it's Children of Bodom with Hatebreeder, second album. Essential melodic death metal in my opinion. I'll probably get some people that will disagree with me, but it is what it is. Alright, so now we get to a band that literally nobody fucking talks about when you talk about melodic death metal. I don't remember if these guys are still together or not. Just all their albums are fucking great. Sorry, I got a fucking notification on above my phone. But yeah, all their albums are fucking great. They definitely, this is a band that needs to be brought up in conversation a lot more often when people talk about melodic death metal. And I'm talking about Gates of Ishtar. This is their second album, The Dawn of Flames. Really, really, really good band, guys. Really good band. Now, their stuff is pretty, I'm not going to lie, is pretty hard to find. I was fortunate to have found this at my local record store. I got lucky. But their stuff is pretty hard to find. I'm still trying to track down their debut album, A Blood Dread Path, and I forgot the name of their third album, but just all three of those, of their first three albums. I don't think they released any other albums after that, but just those albums are just so fucking good. And this band just definitely needs to be mentioned in conversation. Just man, such a good album. Just every fucking song is great. Just the album as a whole is fucking awesome. Just certain albums, it's really hard for me to pick specific tracks to go listen to, but this one is just one of those albums you have to listen to in its entirety because it's that fucking good of an album. And Gates of Ishtar is a band that you need to fucking check out if you like melodic death metal. They're from fucking Sweden, which Sweden is the fucking just the home of melodic death metal. So, just check this band out if you haven't. Start with this album. Go right ahead. This is the album I started out with. Really good stuff, guys. This band needs more attention. like I said, I don't remember if these guys are still together or not. I'm pretty sure they are. Fuck. I would love to see this band live. So yeah, that's Gates of Ishtar with the Dawn of the Flames. Essential melodic death metal listening. Definitely check this band out if you haven't. This is good stuff. Alright, so that's it for this episode of Let's Talk Melodic Death Metal. I always, like I said, like I think I stated in my first video, I will take suggestions for future episodes of Let's Talk Melodic Death Metal. Now, I would prefer to only talk about an album that I actually own, which, maybe if you guys, or if you guys suggest an album to talk about, if I haven't heard it, I'll go check it out. And if I end up really liking it, then I will most likely end up buying it. Then it could potentially be in a future video. But I would just rather not talk about an album that I can't physically show you. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. I really like doing this series. So and I know a lot of you are enjoying it as well. So hopefully episode 4. This is episode 3, so hopefully I'll have episode 4 up hopefully by next week. So yeah, guys, take care and stay tuned for the next video.